Okay, so this is sort of a post-mortem of that last dungeon that I've decided I'm going to clear out and see how it works. And some thoughts on cheating. I recently discovered that some of the YouTubers that I've been trusting to play Minecraft maps, such as Vex's, uh, have been using MC Edit to go into the maps before they play them so they know where the mob spawners are and how the dungeons operate and the tunnels and the mines and so on and so forth. So if I may suggest when you're watching, oh, these are mob honeypots where the paintings are over there on the left and that big mountain on the right. I dug them out so that mobs can spawn there at will so I can get work done without being harassed too much. And that's a sandstone sculpture I built because I don't know. You go around a spiral staircase to get down to that other dungeon that I'm getting ready to go to. See, I dug all that sand out, let the light in. But I think that maybe that next dungeon is under there, but I'm not sure. You go down a spiral staircase, and I'm all kinds of lost by the time I get to the bottom. Anyway, this is another hill I haven't finished clearing out yet. You see, I dug all the way down and all the way back up, and see, I'm really digging around. I'm trying to understand these maps. So yeah, they go into MC Edit and they check it all out. That's a honeypot before they ever play the map. So if you're watching somebody who seems very confident, who walks exactly in the right direction, who walks right up, that's a honeypot, who walks right up to mob spawners and takes them out and has the right equipment to do it with and that sort of thing, and seems very confident, you may want to think about whether that person has previewed the map before they played it so that they will look good on camera. To me, that's stealing somebody's trust. We're trusting you to play the game legit and take your knocks and so on and so forth. You can also tell that they're cheaters by the fact that when they have to play something where they can't know in advance what happened, you'll hear them talking about how scared they are. I'm not the only one who gets scared. There's little water traps like this I had to dig out so that there would be a block at water level so I could get back out. So presumably when you're up here fighting mobs, you'll get knocked into one of those holes and get your hat handed to you. But I went around in the broad daylight and tried to fix as many of those traps as I thought I'd be walking around so that I wouldn't get any big surprises. Daylight's not too bad up here, but nighttime without torches is pretty much torture. Look at this. I built all those bridges and roads from island to island and put out railroad tracks and so on. The only time I went into MC Edit was when I had that glitch, and I was real careful to make sure that I was trying to look only in that part of the map so I wouldn't have it given away. I didn't even want to see what was in that major dungeon over there. I filled in this with sand, took all the ladders out and everything. Filled it in with sand so I can't kill myself until I ran out of sand. So another thing is these people aren't necessarily courageous warriors and pirates and swashbucklers. These are people sitting in front of computers or Xboxes or something in their houses. Some of them can't play this game unless they're chemically impaired and admit it freely. I can't play this game if I'm not drunk. That's what does that say about their anxiety level and their inability to cope with the real world? I have some real limitations and some real disabilities. And if there's one thing that I've learned is there's no problem you can have that alcohol can't make worse. You know what I mean? You don't have the fine muscle coordination. You don't have the good vision. I'm still trying to learn how to put minecart thingies on tracks without accidentally knock this one. But I've got a dead powered rail up there so they can't go all the way back home. I learned that real quick. But once in a while I can put them down just right. You have to be facing the track perfectly or they will go one direction or the other. Now I'm collecting loot and stuff down there in that basement. So, and then there's the other ones that don't seem to really care about the game. Something simple. I was watching a woman playing the game yesterday, did not know how to make a boat. And her whole persona is like, I'm a bimbo. I can't figure it out, okay? She works for Mojang. She's and what she could do for the image of women in gaming by just being a competent player and really helping people learn the game and educate themselves on how to play. Look at my frame rate. You know why? Bats. I'm playing on peaceful. I'm playing on peaceful. I decided I'm going to clean out this dungeon and I don't need to be pestered to death. And I want to see how the dungeon is built and how it operates and where any spawners are and stuff like that. So it's bats and squid that are just jerking me around like this. I almost drowned, even with aqua affinity and respiration on that helmet. I was just trying to get to that chest, and I thought there was one more, but I can't find it. But look how I'm getting jerked around. It was like my mouse wasn't even connected to the game at all. So she acts like a little airhead and stuff. Couldn't figure out how to build a boat. That squid should be moving better than that. This is so sad. How am I going to play this game with this computer acting like this? Um, and, young women need to know that they can be just as competent at playing games as young men are, and that they have more to offer than being eye candy or being professional victims that need to be rescued by some big strong man, stuff like that. So I was pretty exasperated with that. Works for the company and didn't know how to make a boat and wasn't even embarrassed by the fact. You know? So somebody let it slip that these super hostile maps, these fancy maps, Vex's maps, people are going in there with MC Edit, snooping all around, finding out how the dungeons work, finding out how the specialized spawners and mobs work, and then going in there with foreknowledge of how the game works so that they can look good on camera. Now, I understand that this is a profession for a lot of people, and frankly, I approach this professionally. I study Minecraft like it's a subject in college. I watch the people who know the mechanics of the game and can explain them to me. I still don't get redstone. I really don't. I'm going to try. I would love to try playing with command blocks and maybe even making my own map. I think that would be so much fun. But I really study this game. I figure it's my responsibility because I'm a person with disabilities who's trying to learn the game in such a way that I can transmit this information to people with disabilities so that we can have better opportunities to be successful at the game. Now, why did I put a torch here when I was going to go inside that building? Habit. Because that whole thing of almost drowning back there near that, after I got that chest, I had one bubble of air left when I got in there, even with aqua affinity and everything, and respiration. Um, so where was I? So yeah, I study the game as carefully as I can. I don't know much about computers. I don't know hardly anything about games. Anything. I don't understand the jargon. I don't understand the mechanics and dynamics. I don't understand what gamers and game developers just ordinarily expect. So all of this is really new to me. It's a brand new subject to me. But I figure it's my responsibility to give people accurate information, not hearsay and rumors. Like there's a rumor that if you find one of those wells, I think he was going to put a creeper spawner there and decided it was too many spawners in the room. Because that's just this weird random block, but there's no spawner down there. Um, like desert wells. Remember desert wells that like everybody's like, well, are they going to do something? Sometimes they're near villages, and sometimes they're near desert temples, but you can't count on that. Well, there's rumors going around that if you dig around them, you're going to find a dungeon, or if you dig around them, you're going to find a stronghold. I can find no verification that any of that's true, but it's a common rumor, so I'm not going to state it as fact if I don't know for sure it's a fact. what I do try to teach and what I do try to learn is the actual facts. This is a computer program. It doesn't do things arbitrarily. Now, because it's a sandbox game and there's a lot of variables involved, weather and which direction mobs are going, and bats flying in front of your pickaxe, which I'm sure is intentionally programmed in. Um, there's a lot of variables involved, and the way I play it is not going to. The game I experience is not going to be the game you experience, and that's one of the reasons why the game is so much fun. It's like reality. It's not all scripted out for you, and there's only one path to take and only one goal to achieve, and it's a real sandbox game. You create your own world here. Um, so my experience is going to be different than yours, but there are certain things. See, I told you there was a creeper spawner in that corner, and there was a creeper spawner in the other corner that I expected there would be one too. I'm not going to try to orient you to what corners, but where the creepers were appearing the most, catty corner to each other in the room. One on the left side of the front door, and one on the right side in the back, to the right of the police as you're facing the police. Um, er, so my experience is different than yours. Oh, so it's my job to not make stuff up about the game, but to really know how the game operates. It does have its limitations because it is a computer program. And take the fear out of it. I can't tell you enough about post traumatic stress and living in uh in a degree of poverty and stuff where I have to face real dangerous. Somebody teach me how to do this railroad switch thing because I can't figure it out. I've really tried. Er, um, it's really hard to play this game, and I don't need to feel like a failure because I'm not good enough, and then find out that people are cheating so that they look good enough when they're not really. It was really disappointing to see that, and uh, I think it's really awful because it's kids that watch these videos and think these people are real heroes and real smart and really get the game and and they're ripping them off, and I really mourn the lack of integrity. I realize that a lot of people playing this game now professionally are in their 30s, and I could be their mother kind of thing, and I realize they were raised by shopping malls and credit cards, and uh, they were raised like kind of like feral wolves, just feral dogs running around in the street, not afraid of adult supervision. And nobody taught them any ethics and personal integrity and responsibility. And there's a reason why people use the term legit in this game, and it doesn't just mean that you played something on survival when you built a big castle without using creative. It means you did it legit. You didn't cheat. You didn't cut corners. This is my little mushroom farm. He gave me mushrooms back there at that Dungeon 13 that was so easy, but I figured I'd better bring some over here. I diversify my stuff. Not all my mushrooms are here. Not all my chickens are here. I moved stuff to different areas so in case some tragedy or explosion happens, I won't lose all my chickens or all my mushrooms. That's that thing that it hands you wooden tools and mine carts. Mostly I want the mine carts, but I do use the wooden tools. I burn them to cook small quantities of things, and I also just use them as tools, like when I'm scratching around digging out a lot of sand or a lot of sandstone or whatever. Well, this video is about to run out of room, and frankly, I think oh, look, 3D motion pictures in Minecraft. That's what do you call them? Item frames with the paintings went over the tops of item frames, each other, and vines, and that's what happens. Isn't that wild? So yeah, you can have motion pictures. So I ranted enough. I just wanted to say, be a little careful. If people look a little too good to be true, they might be. Thanks for watching. Bye.